Okay, now to explain this generation of voltage, we will solve an example. Okay, now as we are discussed, we have one coil, magnetic field, and after that we can generate the alternating voltage. Same way, one coil having 100 number of turns and cross sectional area is 200 centimeter square is rotated about its axis perpendicular to the uniform magnetic field, having a strength of 0.4 Tesla and speed of rotation is 1500 rpm. And you have to determine the equation for instantaneous induced EMF, peak induced EMF, and next is the instantaneous values of EMF in the following cases. First is the plane of the coil is parallel to the field, means when the plane is parallel to the field. Then perpendicular to the field means whenever your coil is perpendicular to the field, and next is the plane of the coil is inclined at an angle of 45 degree to the field. So for this three particular cases you have to find the instantaneous induced EMF. So first of all you have to find the equation for induced EMF. So for that, equation of induced EMF is known to you. E is equal to Em sin omega t. So you can find the instantaneous induced EMF using this equation. First of all, from the data, given data are number of turns are given N, which is equal to 100. Area of the coil is also given, which is equal to 200 centimeter square, and maximum flux density Bm, which is given 0.4 Tesla, and speed is given 1500 rpm. Now you have to find the equation for the instantaneous induced EMF, which is known. We will derive the equation E is equal to Em sin omega t. Now as we know, Em is nothing but the n omega into phi m, where n is the number of turns, omega is the angular velocity, and phi m is the maximum flux. Now phi m is equal to Bm into A. Bm is the flux density and A is the area of the coil. The value of Bm is given, which is 0.4, and area is also given, which is 200 centimeter square. So Bm is equal to 0.4 into 200 into 10 raised to minus 4. So you get the answer, which is equal to 80 into 10 raised to minus 4 Weber. Now we have to find the value of omega. So omega is equal to 2 pi into f. F is our frequency. So unit of frequency is revolutions per second. So your speed is 1500. It is given revolution per minute. So divide it by 60, so it will give you the revolution per second. So your frequency for this particular case is 25 rps. Okay, always remember your frequency must be in form of revolution per second. If speed is given in revolution per minute, divide it by 60, it will give you the answer in form of revolutions per second. Okay, after finding the frequency, you can find the angular velocity omega, which is equal to 2 pi into f. F is our 25 rps. So your omega is equal to 2 into 3.14 into 25. It will give you the answer 157, and unit for angular velocity is always in terms of radian per second. Now maximum induced EMF Em, which is equal to n omega and phi m. Value of n, number of turns is given. Value of omega is already known, it is 157, and value of phi m is also known, it is 80 into 10 raised to minus 4. So you got the answer for maximum EMF, which is equal to 125.6 volt. So your equation for an instantaneous induced EMF E, which is equal to Em sin omega t, where Em is known, which is 125.6. So it is 125.6 into sin omega is equal to 157 into t. T will indicate that it is the instantaneous value. Whenever the value of t change, according to that your instantaneous value will be changed. Second, you have to find the peak value of EMF, which is Em. The value of Em is already found, it is 125.6. So that is your answer. No calculations are required for this. Third one is the induced EMF when coil is parallel to the field. When your coil is parallel to the field means it will indicate the y dash position, means your angle from the reference axis is 90 degree. So your omega t is equal to theta, which is equal to 90. So put the value of omega t in the equation of instantaneous induced EMF, it will give you the answer. So here it is, E is equal to Em sin omega t. Em is already found, which is 125.6, and here omega t is equal to 90. So sin 90, which is equal to 1. So your answer is 125.6. Now for second part, it is given that your coil is perpendicular to the field, means the angle between the coil and the plane is equal to 0. So again put this value into instantaneous induced EMF's equation, E, which is equal to Em sin theta. As we know, theta is equal to 0 for this particular case. So sin 0 is equal to 0. So your answer is equal to 0. So whenever your coil is perpendicular to the field, means it is at x dash position, the induced EMF is equal to 0. According to our theory also, it will give you a 0 answer. Third part is coil is inclined at 45 degree to the field. So again theta is given, which is 45. So E is equal to Em sin of 45. Em is known, it is 125.6, and sin of 45. So your answer is 88.81 volts. So from this example, you can easily understand how the induced EMF will change with respect to time. Whenever you change the location of coil or change the rotation of the coil, according to that your induced EMF will be changed. Okay, now we are discuss the basic definitions related with the AC. First is the cycle. As we know, cycle is a complete set of positive, zero and negative values of an alternating quantity. Now as shown in figure, this is your initial point, start from the 0, and this is your final point. So this whole waveform is known as one cycle. This cycle is repeated throughout the period. So this is your first cycle and this is your second cycle, and it starts from the 0 value and ends at a 0 value. So it is known as a cycle, means it is a set of 0 value, 1, 2 and 3 0 values, positive values and negative values. Next is the amplitude. Amplitude is a peak value of alternating quantity, whether it is positive or negative. As we know, our alternating quantity having two half cycle, positive half cycle and negative half cycle. If you are consider a peak value of any of these two half cycle, it is known as the amplitude. As shown in figure I consider only the positive half cycle. The maximum value or a peak value over here, it is the amplitude of the alternating quantity. Same way you can find the amplitude from a negative half cycle also. Now instantaneous value. Instantaneous value is the value of alternating quantity at a particular instant. As I discussed earlier, that in alternating quantity, the value of the alternating quantities changes with respect to time. As shown in figure, again it is revision of generation of alternating voltage. So this is the electromagnet. Magnetic field is produced between these two. This will indicate the coil which is placed between these two electromagnet, and we are changing the position of coil. Accordingly, the value of the alternating quantity will change. Suppose for this particular position, your angle is equal to theta, and at theta angle you got some value which is equal to V1, then this V1 is known as the instantaneous value of the voltage at the particular instant. Now next is the time period. Time period is also known as a periodic time. It is the time taken by alternating quantity to complete one cycle. Okay, as shown in figure, this capital T will indicate the time period. This is the time to complete one cycle and the unit of time period is in second. Now as shown in figure, this is the T by 2 time period and this is T by 4 time period. So time period is nothing but the time taken to complete one cycle in terms of second. Next is the frequency. Frequency of an alternating quantity is the number of cycles passed in 1 second. Okay, you can understand this definition by this figure. Now if we are considering that this is the time period of 1 second, this 2 will indicate this is the time of 1 second, and if you are considering first figure, so during 1 second it will complete 2 cycles. So your frequency for this first figure is 2 cycles per second. So it is 2 cycles per second, or you can consider it as a hertz also. Unit of frequency is hertz also. Now for a second figure, the dotted waveform is same as a figure 1, but this full waveform will indicate the other frequency. If you are show that in this full waveform it will complete 8 cycles per second. So for frequency of the second wave is 8 cycles per second. So frequency is nothing but it is a number of cycles completed in a 1 second. So for first figure it is 2 cycles per second, and for second one it is 8 cycles per seconds. This is the relationship between frequency and time period. Okay, frequency is nothing but it is 1 upon periodic time, which is equal to 1 by T, and unit of frequency is always in hertz. Second is the time period T. So same way, from the above equation you can write down like this, that periodic time or time period T, which is equal to 1 by frequency, and unit of it is seconds. Now the frequency of alternating voltage generated by alternator is depends upon the number of poles and speed at which it rotates. As we discussed earlier that you required one source to generate a alternating voltage. This source is known as an alternator. So it depends upon the number of poles of the alternator and speed of the alternator also. The relationship for this is given by F, which is our frequency, which is equal to Pn by 120, where P is the number of poles, N is the speed of the alternator, and from this you can find the frequency. As we know, our standard frequency for India it is 50 Hz. So whenever you use this equation, you have to keep in mind that your frequency should be constant at 50 Hz. You have to change your pole and number of turns in such a way that your frequency remains at 50 Hz. So standard frequency of India is 50 Hz. Now this is the simple example which will show the relationship between frequency and waveform. First is you have to find the periodic time for 50 Hz waveform, and secondly you have to find the frequency for a periodic time of 10 millisecond. So you have to use the relationship between time period and frequency. So as we know, T is equal to 1 by F, frequency is given as 50 Hz, your time period is 20 millisecond. Same way for second part, your frequency is equal to 1 by T, time period is given, it is 10 milliseconds, so it is 10 into 10 raised to minus 3, your frequency is 100 Hz. Now phase. Phase of an alternating quantity is given by the fraction of the time period that has elapsed since the quantity has last passed zero reference. As shown in figure, this is our initial value. Your quantities start from the zero value and you have to find a phase of this particular quantity for a particular instant. Suppose you have to find a phase of this quantity at 90 degree. Then what happen? Phase is a fraction of time period. Okay, this is your time period 0 to 360, it is your time period. Phase is the fraction of time period. So 90, suppose you have to find a phase at this particular point, so fraction of time period is 90. So it is 90 from a last pass zero value. So last pass zero value is over here. So your phase is this for this particular instant. Same way you can find the phase at any instant. You have to consider the last pass zero value for a phase. Okay, as shown in second figure, here it is 90 degree lagging, here it is 90 degree leading. It will indicate that your waveform is lagging behind the reference voltage. It will indicate that your waveform is leading from the reference voltage. Now two quantities are said to be in phase when both of them reach their zero as well as peak values at the same time. Okay, as shown in figure, this two quantity having zero as well as maximum value at the same time. So these quantities are known as the two quantities are in phase. This is the voltage wave and this is the current wave. Both are in phase, means two quantity having a zero values at the same time, maximum value at the same time, again zero value at the same time. So this type of quantity is known as the two quantity in a phase. So today we will discuss up to this. In next session we are go further for other definitions and other relationship for alternating quantities. Thank you.